Wow. You know, at a time when political figures, news media lackeys, politically connected university hacks, and celebrities lower themselves into maelstroms of deception and attacks on liberty, it's encouraging to see principled people connecting and supporting each other, and to see folks we admire for their artistic pursuits stand for principle as well. And now, musicians Van Morrison and Eric Clapton are doing just that, protesting against the unconstitutional, immoral COVID crackdowns of businesses and personal interactions, and creating great music as they do it. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. Well, using shoddy COVID-19 data from unreliable PCR tests and inflated cases that can't conclusively be claimed to have any connection to real sickness or transmissibility, politicians from Mario Cuomo on the east coast of the U.S. to Gavin Newsom on the west, and many of their sycophantic media lackeys in between, tell us these are unprecedented times, as if that's a prologue allowing them to engage in absolute widespread fraud. But the only things unprecedented about these times are the extent to which they and other petty tyrants have shattered their constitutional oaths, imposed illegal and immoral lockdowns on private businesses, houses, private schools, and churches, and shown towering hypocrisy by breaking their own odious commands. And, of course, there's the almost as unprecedented way that the lapdog dinosaur news and social media giants have curried favor with the lockdown tyrants and tried to crush our free speech and dissent. But thankfully, many non-politicians are rising in defense of truth and free will, and some well-known musicians are standing tall to lend them moral and financial support. A few weeks ago, I reported on the news that Irish rock and blues singer and musician Van Morrison was one of those people. And since then, he's released 3 protest songs to speak out about the UK's affront to liberty as embodied in their brutal, invasive, and morally bankrupt lockdowns. The 3 songs are titled Born to be Free, As I Walked Out, and No More Lockdown. All feature his signature vocals and beautiful message of freedom, and are all infused with the emotion and insight of a man who clearly sees the destruction the bureaucratic politicians, police, politically connected scientists, wink wink, and media have rained down upon musicians and non-musicians alike. A sample of his message in As I Walked Out offers some potent truth to remember from now until the end of time.
As I walked out, all the streets were empty. The government said everyone should stay home. Then they spread fear and loathing and no hope for the future. Not many did question this very strange move.
Morrison adds,
Well, on the government website from the 21st of March 2020, it said COVID-19 was no longer high risk. Then 2 days later, they put us under lockdown. Then why are we not being told the truth? By all the media outlets and the government lackeys, why is this not big news? Why is it being ignored? Why no checks and balances? Why no second opinions? Why are they working, and why are we not?
the insight into the unreality and media-driven hysteria, the gut punch delivered in his description of empty streets, and the simple, fair-minded question that he poses, all of those are unmistakable and carried, of course, in his own world-famous voice. And now another voice is joining him. Legendary singer, songwriter, musician Eric Clapton is teaming up with Van Morrison to perform a new protest song. And this time, Van is writing and Clapton will sing. As Variety's Nama Yamachandran reports, music legends Van Morrison and Eric Clapton have announced a new single, Stand and Deliver, in support of Morrison's Save Live Music campaign. The blues track was written by Morrison and is performed by Clapton. As Ramachandran notes, it will help musicians whose livelihoods Orwellian politicians have deemed non-essential. Proceeds from Stand and Deliver will go to Morrison's Lockdown Financial Hardship Fund, which helps musicians facing difficulties as a result of the coronavirus and resulting lockdown measures. That's a lot of musicians. So it'll take us and our friends and loved ones to spread the word about this and about the sheer brazen attack on that and other industries that politicians in many nations have conducted. For those who question the wisdom of promoting the field of live music, for those who, as some have, try to climb some fictitious moral high ground to say that people attending concerts or church or any other voluntary gathering are selfishly putting others at needless risk, here's a soft reminder. Please learn the difference between private property and public government-run property. Learn the meaning of voluntary association and free will. Learn that those invited into private property and those welcoming them to do so of their own free will, and the associations that happen with others subsequent to those meetings are voluntary, and they continue to be voluntary as long as they're private and they're decided by ourselves. All human action is voluntary except that which occurs on and via government-run systems. And it was for this reason that here in the U.S., the founders wrote the Bill of Rights to ensure that government would not stop voluntary association on public places, and for which the British commoners demanded aspects of the important Magna Carta in 1215. People who defend these political attacks on fundamental liberty can claim no valid factual, constitutional, or moral reason for their positions, and their lemming-like support for these edicts is harming more people than the virus has or ever will. Musicians like Morrison and Clapton understand this, and despite their great success, or perhaps thanks in part to it, they're working hard to help their fellow musical creators survive these loathsome attacks on their lives, their loves, and their careers. You know what? I think I know what's going to be on my stereo a lot as we approach Christmas. I wonder what might be on yours. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Share these with friends everywhere you possibly can. We'll see you in Facebook. We'll see you on Instagram. We'll see you on Twitter. And please visit MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org to find out what the whole team is doing. And if you're getting ready for Christmas and looking for some really nice gifts, you can help MRC by going to MRC-store and grabbing some of the great items there. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.